Hello everyone, Dunkurtin here, and welcome to the finals for the Nita Cup 750k-5. It's been a long time coming, guys, but we are finally here. We've had some issues with recording and really irregular releases, which hopefully next time I will have completely under control. Gonna have a whole schedule and everything. But that aside, we're finally here. First up, we have the semi-final, in which we have a rematch between the Hurricane and the Borg Cube. First time around did not go so well for the Hurricane. However, I have since then become aware of the spin armor glitch that the Borg Cube actually utilizes. And such, if we have an instance like with the first time these two matched up, where the Borg Cube goes down and appears to not be taking a lot of damage for a long time and it's not active, I know why that is, and I will call that round in favour of the Hurricane. If that happens, it might not happen. The Borg Cube might take it, quite confidently. Might take the round from the Hurricane. We don't know what will happen. And then the winner of this match will go on to fight the Shoebox, which is currently sinking. Yes, we'll go on to fight the Shoebox. If it is the Borg Cube, that will be another rematch. Otherwise, it'll be the first head-to-head, I believe, between the Hurricane and the Shoebox, if the Hurricane is the one to go through. As the Shoebox has not lost at all, ever, in this competition, whoever challenges it actually has to beat it in best out of 5. Whereas, if the first 3 matches go decisively to the Shoebox, it will be declared the winner. As basically, because it's double elimination, that goes for the Shoebox as well. So really it's best out of 6. If the Shoebox loses the first best out of 3, it goes on to another best out of 3. But we'll deal with that hurdle when we get to it. Don't want to confuse everyone. I think that pretty well covers it. So we'll get started straight away with the semi-final between the Borg Cube and the Hurricane. Alright guys, here we go with the first round of what is sure to be another epic matchup between the Hurricane and the infamous Borg Cube. So just starting off, a lot of missiles coming out straight away while the Borg Cube has immediately begun doing work with those lasers. We see the smoke coming off of the Hurricane, negating a lot of that laser damage, but the Borg Cube is now flying over the top and unleashing its barrage of missiles from that bottom face. Looks like the first few of them definitely connected. The rest appear to be... Oh, maybe the laser defense is doing a lot of work here actually. I'm not sure if any of them did actually connect. It was kind of hard to see what was going on between all that smoke and that. Smoke which is now kind of dissipated away from the Hurricane. It is left vulnerable to these lasers. I can see a lot of damage going on there. Really needs to get some more smoke deployed before it explodes too many more times. Not the best start for the Hurricane, though I do believe a lot of those initial missiles did land and do a decent amount of damage to the corners of the Borg Cube. Some more explosions going on down here though. Looks like not too many of these missiles making contact though by the looks of things. Yeah, not too many of them making... Oh, here we go. Now yeah, the Hurricane's doing a fairly good job of not taking too much missile damage right now. But not doing very well of staying within its smoke clouds to cut back on this laser damage. Nor is it seeming to get a very good angle to fire its own missiles back at the Borg Cube. Looks like the first round could be going quite decisively in favour of the Borg Cube as things stand right now. Still too early to call it though. Okay guys, so the Hurricane has gone down. It's let off a couple more puffs of smoke, but and then just dropped down into the water. It's on its side and just completely defenseless right now. No missiles coming out from the Hurricane. Borg Cube continuing to drop its own missiles, and got a laser going away. Oh, that was a missile coming from the Hurricane. Don't know where it's going though. That was a nice timed release of smoke then. Kind of almost looked like that barrage of missiles was responsible for all that smoke. So as we can see, just all of these missiles are now making easy contact with the Hurricane. Absolutely just shredding away the outer hull. It's managed to blow a nice hole right through the middle of the shell here. Still got some missiles on the side. Not much going on the front here. There's still an engine going somewhere as they still have one shield up. But this final barrage, I would say, has definitely finished it. Yeah, that will be the first round going to the Borg Cube. Hi guys, so with the Borg Cube spawning in second this time around, as the Hurricane makes its final stand, can Solus and Kaz's combined entry stay in this competition and make it through to the finals? Or will the Borg Cube knock them out once and for all and go on for its own rematch against the Shoebox in the finals? It all depends on the outcome of this round and whether or not we go on to a tiebreaker in the final. So that would have been a lot of damage onto the Borg Cube there. Unfortunately, due to the glitch, where as most of the impact was on the middle, not much of the damage goes onto the outer shell. However, as everything is pretty tightly packed in there, it would have taken quite a bit of interior damage, but still, I believe. Meanwhile, we've got an explosion down on the back of the Hurricane. I believe that was just another one of those little decoys at the back kind of explosions that seem to always happen with the Hurricane that don't have any real lasting effect on it. As it comes around, we got another explosion at the back once again. Are we going to see another full volley as the Hurricane comes around? Or has it taken some damage to its front launchers? Just waiting for this now. What's going on? See a lot of smoke coming up. But no missiles. What's going on here? Got one. Surely the Borg Cube has not managed to disable these front launchers already. So that could really spell the end for the Hurricane if it has. Okay, here we go. Now we're seeing a lot of missiles coming off. Are they going to make contact though? Or will the Borg Cube just outrun them all? Here we go. Unfortunately on the wrong side to see most of these make contact. But it is happening. Here we go. They've done a lot of damage to one of those corners, which is what you have to do against the Borg Cube because of its design. You really just have to, you don't want those direct hits. You just want to dig your way into one corner and bring it down. How is the Hurricane faring through all this, however? Looks like it lost quite a bit of altitude, but it's still going. A lot of these missiles do seem to have just given up on chasing the Borg Cube, however. Not these smaller ones, though. There we go, another rather large volley managing to make contact there. As the Borg Cube spits out some of its own missiles as it starts to roll. How are we going down here? Are they gonna... Hurricane's anti-missile defense is going to work there. Looks like a few of them made contact at the very back of the Hurricane. Not sure if they managed to do anything too major there though. How is the Borg Cube going? Looks like we got quite a few panels. Some missing shields, a hole in one of those corners there. As I said, unfortunately there is a glitch with how Borg Cube's armor works. So pretty well, if the Hurricane manages to take it down and it's not firing back, and the Hurricane is constantly landing missiles, I'm going to call it in favour of the Hurricane because just the way this glitch works, the outer shell is kind of indestructible if you're hitting it dead on in the center. Where is that explosion? Okay, so something is exploding on the ball cube. Looks like it was something on the inside, so that explosive damage still managing to make its way through the outer shell and blow up some vital systems on the inside. The ball cube looks like it could be going down. It's attempting to pull out of this dive. Meanwhile, the Hurricane itself has actually dropped into the water and is not deploying its balloons. There we go. It's taking quite a while the ball cube has managed to pull itself out of that dive at the last moment. Just dropping a few close range missiles right on top of the Hurricane. Is the Hurricane going to get its nose up enough to unleash a full volley here? It looks like it might. Oh yeah, the underside of the ball cube really not looking too healthy right now. So let's see what's going on inside there. Okay. There is a huge gaping hole right now. And the Hurricane has successfully regained the air. Just needs to come around for another attack run right now. Ball cube struggling to maintain altitude and struggling to keep its shields active. Seeing no lasers coming off it, it does not have the power to go on the offensive right now. So the Hurricane does have to at least beach the ball cube before I will call this though, so it has to go back on the offensive. Can this huge barrage of missiles do it? Okay, I gotta say, it looks like most of that barrage landed on the perfect angle. It got hit right on the corner mostly of the ball cube. It looked like a lot of those missiles actually made their way inside the outer shell. And definitely did a lot of damage to the internals of the ball cube there. Alright, so it looks like the ball cube is down. As I said, if the ball cube remains defenseless in this position for too long while the Hurricane is constantly outputting damage, I will call this round in favour of the Hurricane. However, I'm not going to do it immediately. We're going to have to let this play out for a little while. So I'm just going to sit back and watch for a bit. Okay, guys, the main reason I haven't called this yet is that single functioning laser. As I said, the ball cube had to be defenseless while it was down here, and it's still got power. It's still firing from that one side. So I'm gonna have to let this play out a little bit longer. Looks like the Hurricane has just taken that laser out though. I will be calling this very soon if things do not change. Okay, so the plan was to leave it for a full minute after that laser stopped firing, and we got to about 50 seconds and the ball cube has jumped back into the air. So I'm going to let it play out a little bit longer. Sorry guys. And sorry Kaz and Solace, I hope that this doesn't mean a loss because I let this play out too long for you. The ball cube's still in a pretty bad shape, so I don't think it should change the outcome too much, unlike the first time when I did let it play out quite a bit too long. But that first time I definitely left it a lot longer than a minute, so just need to bring it back down as quickly as possible. A couple good volleys will bring it straight back down, and then that could be the end for it. So unfortunately it looks like a lot of these missiles are going to run out of fuel before they can catch up. No lasers coming off of the ball cube yet, however, so if the Hurricane can continue to hit the sweet spot like it looked like most of that barrage did. It's not really in any danger of taking too much damage with its own missile defense, taking out most of the Borg Cube's missiles at this point in time. Right, there we go, a couple really large explosions on the interior of the Borg Cube right there. If it goes down here, I think it's over. Really not sure how the Borg Cube managed to survive that last barrage. I thought that was it. Got in nice and close to get a good angle of it, and meanwhile it looks like the Hurricane has lost propulsion. Hurricane in a lot of trouble right now. Borg Cube has shot all of its balloons off straight away pretty well. I'd say its best hope here is that as the Borg Cube flies over it and manages to unleash a large enough barrage of missiles. Everything's lagging quite a bit right now. Alright, is that it? Is the Hurricane done for? What's going on down here? I see some smoke. Do not see any lasers coming out to destroy these missiles. Oh, what do we got in here? Okay, so we got a lot of missiles still intact at the front here. Just not getting the right attack angle. Not sure exactly what is keeping it. You know, obviously it's lost a lot of its propulsion. Oh yeah, okay, we got a few holes in the hull here. Still got full power though by the looks of it, like full shielding and everything. The anti-missile lasers have come back online. The Borg Cube still does not have all sides of its lasers functional either. So we could see the Hurricane come back and get back in the air if the Borg Cube continues to fail to finish it off here, you know. Got the left side thrusters back up and running by the looks of things. Well, here go my hopes of fitting both these matches into one episode. Looks like we're going to have a separate semi-finals and finals episode anyway. However this does turn out. Here we see the anti-missile lasers on the Hurricane working really hard to buy the Hurricane the time it needs to finish this repairing. With its lasers not functioning right now, the Borg Cube is not putting out much damage at all onto the Hurricane, and it is putting up a valiant effort to get back into this fight. Unfortunately, its own balloons doing a lot to hinder its anti-missile system there. However, I do believe the balloons also helped to soak up a lot of the damage that would have come out of that. Not quite soaking up enough damage though, those lasers are back offline. The Borg Cube is coming around on the correct side this time. This could be it, this could be the end. Massive explosion down on the Hurricane here. Alright, it might be time to go in for a bit of a closer look after seeing all these missiles come down and connecting. I would not be surprised if there's a bit of a hole in the top of the Hurricane here. And yes, there is. Oh yeah. Somehow still got some shields function. I'm not sure where the engines for those shields are, but I do not see it being very likely that it's going to recover from this with just more missiles coming in. No missile defenses. The balloon's not doing much to defend and deflect these missiles. Just wait for this last smoke cloud to clear so I can see how much is left of the hurricane before I make a decision as to whether or not to coal this. Okay. Yeah, there is not much left down here. I do not see an overabundance of repair bots flying around, so I can pretty confidently call the hurricane as dead right now. I'm sorry that I left it long enough for the ball cube to come back to life, but frankly I don't see that a third round would have turned out much differently for the hurricane, unfortunately. So thank you very much, Solosphere and Kaz, for your joint submission from the Storm Watch. Unfortunately, didn't quite make it to the end. You have secured yourself third place, however, and look forward to seeing your guys' submissions in the next tournament as well. And the board cube will go on to have its rematch with the shoebox in the grand finals. See you guys then.